Have you ever wondered how far someone would go to gain absolute power, fame, or even protection? It's fascinating to think about the sacrifices some people are willing to make in pursuit of their deepest desires. But what if I told you that throughout history, a mysterious entity has been at the center of rituals that challenge both morality and the supernatural, evoking fear and worship alike? The name of this figure echoes through history, tied to practices of extreme sacrifice, promises of power, and spiritual pacts unimaginable to many of us. I'm talking about Moloch, an ancient and feared deity associated with fire, destruction, and rebirth. Before we proceed, let me warn you. What you're about to uncover could completely change the way you see not only history, but also the choices we make in the pursuit of success and control. If you're already curious, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. What's coming isn't just a lesson in history or religion. It's a journey to understand humanity's deepest mysteries. For centuries, the worship of Moloch stood out for the intensity of its practices. His followers did not hesitate to offer what was most valuable to them, often human lives, to achieve their goals. But why? What drove these people to such devotion? The answer lies in fear and desire. In the era when Moloch was worshipped, the world was unpredictable. Natural disasters, diseases, wars, everything seemed beyond control. People sought something greater to protect them or fulfill their needs. It was in this context that Moloch became a central figure, a divine force demanding extreme sacrifices in exchange for protection and prosperity. But what does this mean for us today? Has this idea of sacrifice really disappeared? In biblical imagery, Moloch is associated with the height of idolatry and spiritual corruption. The Bible clearly condemns human sacrifice practices as seen in Leviticus 18:21. Do not give any of your children to be sacrificed to Moloch, for you must not profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. This prohibition goes beyond rejecting an act of violence. It reflects God's stance against human attempts to gain power by trading lives or violating deep spiritual values. Today, rituals linked to Moloch are no longer literal, but that doesn't mean the concept of sacrifice has disappeared. In modern society, it takes different forms. People sacrifice time, relationships, and even their own morality in the name of personal goals. Think of public figures who seem to have sold their soul for fame. What does that really mean? Fire was the central element in Moloch's rituals. It symbolized destruction, but also rebirth. When offerings were consumed by flames, the sacrifice was believed to transcend the physical world, reaching higher realms. This symbolism of fire as a transformative force still resonates in modern spiritual practices. In contemporary occultism, sacrifice is interpreted more symbolically. Instead of lives or material possessions, old habits, fears, or limiting beliefs are renounced. This symbolic destruction aims to make space for spiritual and personal growth. This leads us to a reflection. What sacrifices are you making in your life? Are you giving up what truly matters in pursuit of something that will never satisfy? The example of Abraham and Isaac, recorded in Genesis 22, is one of the greatest tests of faith in the Bible. God asked Abraham to sacrifice his only son, but intervened at the last moment. This event illustrates the fundamental difference between true faith and practices associated with Moloch. While Moloch's worship demanded sacrifices to appease an insatiable entity, biblical faith teaches that God does not seek material sacrifices, but a broken and obedient heart. Psalm 51:17 says, "The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart, O God, you will not despise. This prompts the question, are you sacrificing the right things? In today's world, Moloch's symbolism remains alive. He represents what we consume in exchange for empty promises. In our efforts to achieve success or acceptance, we may end up sacrificing our values, relationships, and even our peace of mind. The Bible's message is clear. True sacrifice doesn't destroy, it builds. Romans 12:1 instructs us, offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. This is an invitation to reflect on what we are offering in our lives. Are we striving to please the eternal or merely the temporary? Stay until the end of this video because there's still much to explore about how the principles of sacrifice and rebirth shape our history, culture, and personal choices. It's not just about understanding the past, but applying these lessons to the present. After all, what are we sacrificing to achieve our dreams? And is it worth it? If this made you reflect, leave your comment below. I want to know, what do you think people are sacrificing today in the name of success? Even though literal worship of Moloch has long disappeared, his image still echoes in modern culture, especially as a symbol of sacrifices made in the name of progress or power. The idea that great achievements require significant sacrifices continually appears in literature, philosophy, and even politics. Moloch has become a powerful metaphor for forces that consume humanity in exchange for promises of advancement and control, reminding us of the cost we are willing to pay for our most ambitious goals. Ultimately, the story of Moloch serves as a sobering but necessary reminder of what happens when humanity strays from the truth. Throughout history, we've sought ways to bargain with the unknown, control what cannot be controlled, and satisfy our deepest desires through extreme means. But the gospel offers a different message. We don't need to sacrifice what is most precious to please God. He has already provided everything we need through Jesus Christ. So the next time you face a tough decision, ask yourself, am I trying to bargain or am I trusting in God's perfect plan? This reflection might be the turning point that helps you live a purposeful life, free from the chains of desperate sacrifice. If this story impacted you and made you think about the sacrifices we make in life, consider what you can transform today to align your choices with what truly matters. Perhaps true change begins by understanding what we are willing to let go and what we should never abandon. Enjoyed this content? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to receive updates on new videos. Here, we explore profound topics that challenge the mind and touch the heart. Share this video with someone who might need to hear this message and leave your thoughts in the comments. I'm eager to know what you think. And of course, check out the other videos on the channel. Each one is a new journey that will expand your understanding and spark your curiosity. See you there.